If you've still got the vertical grading editor open for the profile string, then keep it open. If you haven't, then we're going to reopen it. So we're going to go to the Roads tab, vertical grading button, and then left click close to our profile string and make it full screen. Now at this point, don't be too concerned if the vertical design that you've undertaken looks very different to the vertical design that we have on screen, because we're now going to review a tool which will assist us with automating some of this process that we've undertaken previously with snapping IPs directly onto an IP reference. To do this, we're going to explore a tool called Auto Profile, which is found on the vertical grading editor ribbon. So go ahead and click on that now. In here we have a selection of tools, some of which we're going to explore in more detail later on, which will aid us in designing our vertical design in the vertical grading editor. On the bottom row in the middle, you'll see there is an option called Reference Constraint. So go ahead and pick on that from the list. What we're going to do is ask the software to match IPs onto the lower constraint, which is the -5% for the first 150 meters, and then for the remainder of the design have the software match IPs onto the upper constraint, which is -2%, all the way through. So we're going to type in from 0 to 150, match onto the lower constraint, and then click OK. Then we're going to click on Apply and Exit down the bottom. And you'll see that what the software has done is it's matched IPs onto the lower constraint all the way as far as chainage 150, and then beyond that the software is just reverting to the original design. So this is a very good time-saving process. So now what we want to do is say, well look, past 150, match on to the upper constraint. So we're going to go back to Auto Profile. We're going to go back to Reference Constraint. We're going to say from 150.1, so we don't accidentally grab the 150 that's already at the right position, all the way to the end, match onto the upper constraint, and then click OK. If you make a mistake with either entry, what you don't want to do is to go ahead and just click on Reference Constraint each time. That's because what you're going to be doing is generating a new entry. If you need to make a change to what you've just done, you can select the entry from either of the two that are available and then click on the pencil icon to edit. You can also click on the Delete Entry button to remove it from the screen. Click on Apply and Exit, and in the vertical grading editor you'll now see that from chainage 150 onwards, and you can see that transition happening just here between 145 and 151. If we go and make changes to existing road crown, in theory, we could be adjusting where -2 and -5% would be. All we would need to do is come back to Auto Profile, click Apply and Exit, and these two entries will basically be rerun again in the background. So we're going to click Apply and Exit. If we wanted to make any changes to this, we could also make changes. So this is a first pass from the software, and we can go in and remove IPs and delete IPs.